Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Kunzang Peo Choling. Welcome to meditation this morning. And we are also streaming online. So hello to everyone watching online. So before we begin this morning, let's just take a moment to establish our intention for being here, for showing up today, to do meditation. It's so important to begin with that proper motivation before any activity. So developing that bodhicitta intention, which is the compassionate wish to free all beings from suffering. And so, we are included in that as well. So we always want to begin with this motivation. So let's take a minute to establish that in our minds. All right. So before we begin, we always do some opening prayers. So we'll do the 7-line prayer, which is on the front side of your handout. And you can read along with that or chant along with us. And I'll put it up on the screen. We'll do that 3 times together. Organ yugi nu chamsam pemage sarumpola yasan shogi no drumne pemajungne shesudra koryu kandrom ampokor keki jesu dag druki chinchin shir sheksu so Guru Pema Siddhi Organ Yugi Nucham Sam Pema Ge Sardompola Yasan Shogi No Drumne Pema Jungne Shesudra Koryu Kandrom Ampokor Keki Jesu Dag Druki Chinchilo Shir Sheksu Sol Guru Pema Siddhi Hum Organ Yugi Nucham Sam Pema Ge Sardompola Yasan Shogi No Drumne Pema Jungne Shesudra Koryu Kandrom Ampokor Keki Jesu Dag Drupki Chinchilo Shir Sheksu Sol Guru Pema Siddhi Hum. All right, so the meditation we'll be doing today is called Shamatha meditation. It's taught, this text we'll be referring to today is Jetsama's book, Stabilizing the Mind, and I'll be reading a few excerpts from that later. So we always want to begin with what meditation is. Why are we here? Why are we doing meditation? The whole purpose of meditation, meditation first is the natural state of our mind when it's relaxed and stable and open. It trains our mind to be relaxed and calm and yet alert and wakeful. And the whole point of meditation, the purpose we do doing meditation is to create more space in our mind. And we talk about this each week, but it's important to recognize how many things in our life are competing for that space in our mind. So all the many things we have to do, our never-ending to-do list, many things that pull us in all different directions, distractions, responsibilities. It's hard to find moments of rest in our mind, moments of spaciousness, moments of stability of mind without the kind of inflammation of busyness and distraction. So when we can create more stability and space in our mind, we're able to balance our emotions better. We're able to deal with whatever life brings to us in a more relaxed and less reactive way. So in Buddhism, it's extremely important to stabilize our mind in this way because it's the very first step in developing bodhicitta, again, which is the compassionate wish to free all beings from suffering. So if our mind is just completely inflamed, if we don't have a minute of spaciousness in there, how can we even begin to think of others or think of compassion or bringing benefit into the world? So we really have to have that well of spaciousness and stability in our mind, and with meditation we can do that, and we can see how it transforms over time. So we're all sitting on the floor today, so that's great. And if you need to sit in a chair, if that's more comfortable, you can also do that. So we just want to make sure on the floor or a chair that we have a straight spine. So this is our opportunity to practice our posture here. So we're not hunched over. We have our shoulders back and our elbows back. And the traditional way to have our hands is the right hand over the left with our thumbs touching and then just resting in our laps. We can also put our hands on our thighs if that's easier. And we really just want to breathe naturally. So it might, sometimes when we first begin to meditate, we feel a little rigid with our breathing, and that's maybe because we're trying to be very still or not have a lot of thoughts. We want to just breathe naturally, and it might take a few deep breaths to get to that natural pace of your breath. And we are going to keep our eyes opened, but in a very relaxed kind of gazing way, where we're gazing down towards the floor, almost like we draw a line from the bridge of our nose extending out to the floor, and then we're picking a point on that line to rest our gaze. So we're not intently staring at the floor. Everything's relaxed, and we're breathing naturally, and just allowing some breath to come through the mouth as well. We do this by putting the tip of our tongue on the back of our front teeth, almost like we're saying the letter L, and resting our tongue there, so that we have some breath through the mouth and breathing naturally. And our attention is going to be on the breath. And our attention is not a heavy attention. It's a very light attention. So we're not thinking, okay, the breath, inhale, exhale. It's a very light attention. It's just a place for our mind to rest. So when our mind starts to wander or starts to have thoughts, we just gently bring it back to the breath again and again. So we can maybe distracted, maybe we're, having an internal thought or something in the room. Again, we're just bringing our attention back to the breath. So like, if a thought, almost like a thought arising like a bubble to the surface of the pond, we just let that thought pop. When it reaches the top of the pond, we let the bubble pop, we let it go. So this is an act of letting go and returning again and again to our focus on the breath. And if we find that our mind feels very busy today, we can imagine even like cutting the thought or tossing the thought out and returning to the breath. So, and it's important to know that our thoughts don't break our meditation. It's when we go down the road with those thoughts and we let them multiply and we inspect every thought and we judge ourselves for our meditation. So just, again, it's about letting go and returning to the breath. So we're going to start with, we're going to do a few sessions. We're going to start with 5 minutes together and just try again to keep bringing back your thoughts, bringing back your focus to the breath. And so I'm going to put my timer here. Hopefully you all can hear it. And starting now. Oop, here we go. I'm going to read something, little excerpts from this book, Stabilizing the Mind. In order to develop spaciousness in the mind, in order to develop some kind of stability, we have to find a way to step back from reaction. Some people seem to react instantaneously. Other people appear to react after they have chewed on something and discovered something distasteful. Whichever type we are, the reaction actually always comes automatically and instantaneously, even for those people who tend to ruminate on things and take a while to show their reaction. For those who get hot quickly, they simply see it right away and feel it right away because there is less of a time lapse. With the other kind of person, the same process happens, but it takes more time for the reaction to surface, even though the actual reaction begins immediately. Somehow we have to be able to step back from our own minds long enough to be able to watch these reactions, to be able to see where they come from. If we can't watch ourselves do it, if we cannot take a step back from it, we will never have any success mastering our moods. We have to be able to master our emotions to progress towards enlightenment. So, um, So we're going to try a little bit of a longer time to meditate. And if you're new to meditation, it's, we always want to start where we're at. So it's never advised to jump into the deep end and do like a 45-minute meditation. We want to build that stability and spaciousness in our mind so we can sustain that focus and attention and awareness. So we can start with 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes, and just gradually grow our practice. So we will increase our time and then we'll end with a shorter session to finish. So, all right. So again, our straight spines, shoulders back, elbows back, breathing naturally with the eyes open and gazing towards the floor and the tip of our tongue and the back of our teeth, creating a little bit of air coming through the mouth in that way, and then just relaxed and putting all of our focus and attention on the breath and a very light attention. Our attention is like a feather gently riding the surface of our breath. All right, with that, You could take a moment if you need to stretch at all or a sip of water. And we'll do one more shorter session before wrapping up. And we can think of all the ways too that we can start to incorporate meditation into our experience throughout the day. So it doesn't always have to look like formal meditation where we're, sitting on the ground or with our posture. We can have a moment of connecting with the breath and focusing on the breath, in these transitional moments of our day. So maybe we're driving somewhere, and before we get out of the car, sitting and focusing on the breath, having a moment of meditation before we get out and do the next thing, having a moment of meditation and awareness when we're standing in line somewhere, when we're, waiting at a doctor's office, or, all these different moments throughout our day where we can work on that stability and spaciousness in our mind, where we can be weaving meditation throughout our day so that it becomes so familiar to us. It becomes the kind of well that's always there, that we always have access to. And we just have to keep remembering that we can return it again and again to the breath. So with that, let's do just a last shorter meditation. You can come in. Come on in.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Hey, we're just finishing up a meditation here. Okay, so again, we'll just try one more time. And if you're looking for resources throughout your week to continue your meditation, we also have on our YouTube page, the Kunzang Pale Choling YouTube page, we have a meditation playlist. So there are many different teachings on there, techniques and tips for meditating. So let's start with our last shorter session, starting now. All right. So we're going to wrap up our meditation by doing some dedication prayers. And this is to seal in the benefit, the virtue we have accumulated here together for the benefit of all beings. So that's on the back side of your paper, dedication prayers, and I'll put them up on the screen. Throughout my many lives and until this moment, whatever virtue I've accomplished, including the merit generated by this practice, and all that I'll ever attain, this I offer for the welfare of sentient beings. May sickness, war, famine, and suffering be decreased for every being, while their wisdom and compassion increase in this and every future life. May I clearly perceive all experiences to be as insubstantial as the dream fabric of the night, and instantly awaken to perceive the pure wisdom display in the arising of every phenomenon. May I quickly attain enlightenment in order to work ceaselessly for the liberation of all sentient beings. Buddhas and Bodhisattvas altogether, whatever kind of motivation you have, whatever kind of beneficial action, whatever kind of wishing prayers, whatever kind of omniscience, whatever kind of life accomplishment, whatever kind of benevolent power, and whatever kind of immense wisdom you have. Similarly, I, who have come in the same way to benefit beings, pray to attain these qualities. By this effort, may all sentient beings be free of suffering. May their minds be filled with the nectar of virtue. In this way, may all causes resulting in suffering be extinguished, and only the light of compassion shine throughout all realms. So thank you so much for being here today. Thanks for coming, and thank you to everyone viewing online. And I'm going to end the live stream now.